Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Codex After Dark. Pull up your easy chairs, light those beautiful scented candles, and eat that day old pizza because you don't want to cook this late at night. My name is Tim. This wonderful guy over here is Jamie, and down below, we brought him back for another round of comic book talks and pop culture and whatever else we feel like talking about. That would be Tone Faulcon. How's it going, Tone?
It's going pretty good. Thanks for having me back.
Hey, right on. Thanks for coming along. We loved having you the last time, and we had to have a round two.
Yes.
So,
or I would have attacked you because I think you guys can see it. I'm wearing my Eagle Fang, karate sweater, so I'm ready for brawl.
That's amazing.
Shout out Cobra Kai.
Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't checked it out already, we did a Breaking the Code last night, cameos versus first appearances. It got pretty heated, but it's worth a watch. It's a great episode, and there's a lot of interesting points that are brought up on my side and on Jamie's side, so check that out. Don't forget to find us on all socials. All you got to do is type in the Codex Podcast. We've also got Codex Gaming, which I'm sure Jamie will go into a little bit more tonight. That is over on Twitch. You can check that out. Matt Slayer streamed that last night, and it was absolutely amazing. Go ahead and take a look at
4 hours.
Yeah. And
I stayed up till 3 watching it.
And also we had the Codex Podcast this past Wednesday where we reviewed Sonny's pick, Green Lantern New Dawn. And it got a 10 out of 10 from me and Jamie and a 9.7 from Sonny.
Sonny's a weird cat. I'm just gonna like that guy usually will be. I'm waiting for him to jump in and be like, why did you say cat? But like usually it's 10 out of 10 for him. He's like, oh, issue 1 was just too slow. What?
I can see that though. Well, no, I can't. Sonny's wrong on this one. But anyways, you guys were talking about Dr. Doom, and Tone, you were talking about something really cool that I'm still trying to find about that Doom series where he meets alternate versions of Doom, or at least that alternate version of Doom, right?
Yes, that's correct. So Dr. Doom has been one of my favorite characters across my entire comic life. Mm-hmm. And but he's been written very uneven. And sometimes he's written, I feel like his heyday was the 70s and in the FF. And that leads him into the 80s where they had the Secret Wars, where it's an amazing Doom story in the Secret Wars, the Doom arc within the Secret Wars. And but after that, there you go. There you go. And after that, to me, not just Dr. Doom, but the Fantastic Four book, it starts to really kind of go into a swan dive. I mean,
is that when Simonson was doing it?
I'm not quite sure who was writing it,
or Byrne or Brine.
Byrne. This was definitely after the Byrne run.
Okay.
And, by the time you get to the early 90s, it's not written well, and none of the characters written well. And throughout the 90s, it's really a trash book. And so if you're not getting good FF, you're not getting a good Doom. No. And it wasn't until about 2015 where I really start seeing them breathe life back into Doom as a character. And I think it's important. Simply put, he is one of the preeminent villains, quotation marks around that, of the Marvel universe. And you have an entire generation of comics fans that have never seen Prime Doom.
No.
Why the world should fear this guy, and why the heroes place him. You know, there's a special place for Thanos and there's a special place for Doom.
And why they leave him alone in Latveria and they just don't mess with him.
Exactly. And so they've done some amazing writing with him in recent years. And I really believe it's leading into his introduction in the MCU. Right. Okay. So they're kind of shaking the writers up, getting them to see what works with Doom, what doesn't work with Doom before they try to drop him and the Fantastic Four into a movie. I think that's the same thing that's happening with the current FF run. Right. With Dan Slott just really kind of, shaking up a lot of things and introducing some new elements. And so I'm happy to see life in the franchise again. And I'm happy to see Doom a true threat. And the last thing I'll throw in is, he ultimate nullified a universe where he found an alternate version of himself that worked with Reed Richards. Like, he hates Reed Richards that much. He murdered that Doom and nullified his entire universe. Wow.
I found the story, by the way, It was Dr. Doom. It's spelled out Doctor and then Doom. It's from 2019.
Dr. Doom. Okay, I'm gonna find that because I really want to read it. Is it just a one shot?
It's 10
issues.
Oh yeah, I'm in it. That's happening.
It's the sweet spot.
There it is. I
right
see
under a maxi, right over a mini.
Dr. Doom.
It's like a mixie series.
Doom. Yeah, I'm all about this. This is happening. I'm reading this story. But no, Tone, what I was going to say was I think like what you were talking about, like with peak Doom in the 70s, I think that when he was in Secret Wars and they pitted him against the Beyonder and he beat him, like straight up obliterated and took the Beyonder's powers, that showed you that Doom was next to untouchable when he really wanted to be. And what he was doing was just playing with these heroes and letting them get their cheap shots and their victories. But when Doom wanted to win, Doom was going to win and nobody was going to stop him. And then in the 90s, like he said, where they just kind of regulated Doom back to cameo appearances or brief stints in lesser books, like in Deathlock in the first 5 issues, he's in that, but it's not Doom, it's a Doom bot, and they use that takeaway a lot. You know, it wasn't really Doom, it was just a Doom bot, etc., etc. But then, like you said, in Secret Wars, man, and time runs out. This what is it? It's like 24 issues before Secret Wars, or something like that. That was an absolutely fantastic read. And while all this stuff is going on and these universes are dissolving and the heroes are trying to figure out just how the heck they can stop it and save anybody they can, Doom's with the Molecule Man, and Molecule Man's like, check this out. I'm
what I can do.
Everything.
It makes me giddy to even think about what they did with Doom in the lead into the Secret Wars. And one of the things I loved,
and he held Battle World together by will alone.
He's a bad man.
Hashtag Green Lantern.
And you know, he has these ambitions that are so far beyond ruling the world or robbing a bank, right? And so when you introduce things like the Panther God, right, gives him access to vibranium because the Panther God sees he's worthy of it, right?
Wow.
When you in the lead into Time Runs Out, you have Doctor Strange chasing the trying to gather the power to stop what's happening. And as he's moving through his different dimensions, he keeps hearing about an ancient dark god. And his story ultimately leads him to Doom. It is that ancient dark god. And it's like whether it's the Black Swans all worship Doom, right? And it's just, and then that quintessential meeting where he confronts the Beyonders. It's just, you know, when you look at a race of gods and tell them, I've taken what was yours and made it mine. I've destroyed universes to mock you. Just the dialogue. I was like, this is just, it's so awesome.
That's Hickman, dude, planting the seeds years in advance. This man plans it out, and I will read anything Hickman does. He is just so amazing.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I got to say about Hickman is that no matter what he's working on, to me in comics, he is one of the best world builders.
Yeah.
When it comes to shorter series, I don't think he has that touch
because he's not allowed to do what he needs to do.
And then when he has time to play around, do whatever he wants with it, it hits every time.
That's why they just need to let Hickman be Hickman and do what Hickman does.
Yeah, I think Hickman there's a balance, and this can be pretty contentious in the comic world and with comic fans. And some people like books really, really lean, right? And kind of 1 to 2 issue stories. And
I am not a fast food reader. I can't do that.
Yeah. And then some people like books really meaty, right? And, entire panels covered with word bubbles, right? And
don't even get me started.
And sometimes, and I think any comic it needs to have a healthy oscillation. But I think it's safe to say that the thing that got me excited when I was 12 is not the thing that gets me excited now. And I need a little bit more meat on my bones, if you will, to
especially for the price.
To keep my comic brain engaged. And
well, I mean, the 90s books were all fast food comics. And when Image came out, that was the Five Guys, you know, fast food comics, and it gave you the blood and the gore and the TNA that you wanted. And Marvel tried to push that edge and push that limit. And DC even did it. I think DC did it a little bit better, where Marvel tried to be like a Hollywood blockbuster edgy. DC was just a little underneath that, like with New Dawn, reading that and watching Major Force just tear it apart. But yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. Nowadays, comics are a completely different read than they were 20 years ago, even. And like with Dark Knights of Steel, even though it's not super word heavy, you get a lot of context and you get a lot of information in the panels that you're looking at. And it's a lot of visual reading, but in Dark Ages feels a little bit different to me. And they're both written by the same guy.
And I always point out when people complain about, where comics are, look at the challenge they have. Every industry, right? Not just comics, but every industry is trying to get the youth, because the youth is where the money is, right? And if you're not
at 18 to 24 range,
if you're not growing through the youth, you're dying as an industry. And so when you look at the primary demographic who's buying comics, who is it? It's old guys like me, right? And so they want to get younger. And so, but the thing that entices me doesn't entice that 12-year-old out there that I used to be, right? Now, and so I remember seeing it in an Incredible Hulk. And it goes from all the way through the World War Hulk, which is if you go Planet Hulk, World War Hulk, very serious, kind of dark undertones, dark overtones.
Right.
Thematically, it was very meaty. And then World War Hulk ends, and you pick up the next issue, just the covers, when they begin to introduce Red Hulk, who they were calling Rolk at the time. That's what they marketed him as. And if you read the first fight between them, the Hulk is now kind of back to the 60s Hulk smash, Hulk fight for love, Rolk fight for, and it's like you can see they did a 180. So, okay, we've given you, Tone, this story that was 18 months for the mature reader. Now we're going to go do a 12-month story where we're trying to get the 12-year-old again. And so I had to be cognizant as a reader to say, okay, this 12 issues aren't going to be for me. This 18 issues aren't going to be for me, because they got to get the kids involved again, because this was too much for the kids.
Because I think even wasn't it something they were saying along the lines of like with the legacy numbering before they took them away and then put them back on there. They didn't want people to be confused or feel like they were coming into the middle of this massive epic storyline that they couldn't get into or find a way to have a starting point, which I think is now why we get 36 issue runs and then they quit and then they redo it, but they still have the legacy numbering for people like us.
Yeah.
Well, real fast, guys, I just want to throw a shout out to Kevin from Comic Character Today. He's in the chat. He did say,
hey, Kevin.
What up, Kevin?
He said it's a common trope where heroes end up defeating themselves. Doom is particularly susceptible to this phenomena. And then he also said that he is not a fan of the current X-Men run, which is what Hickman is on.
See, I haven't even started that yet because there's just so much of it. And like I was just saying 2 seconds ago, I don't know where to start. I have no idea where to get started on that.
Then he went on to say, sorry to cut you guys off. Continuity is sadly missing these days. Kevin, that's a great point. Go check out our Breaking the Code that we did when we talked about continuity. Doesn't matter. See my plugs? They're working perfectly today.
Right on. Tone, what were you going to say?
I was going to say start at the beginning if you're going to get into the current X-Men run. It's with House of X, Powers of X. I
House
think it
of
was
10. No, it's House of X, Powers of 10.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And
even though both have an X.
Yeah, you can get those in trade. And those really kind of set the stage for all the different things that are going on right now. And I don't like there are like so many X books. I just stick right now with the main X title. And Marauders was pretty good.
I've got a few Marauders issues. I have a couple variant covers, but beyond that, that's it.
But as far as whether liking what Hickman, I know several people just like Kevin that don't really they're not really feeling what the what's going on with Hickman's X-Men. And the reason I'm okay with it, and it doesn't mean I like everything. I don't just love everything he's done with the mutants, but I got so sick and tired of regurgitated 80s stories and early 90s stories over and over and over and over. And
we don't what's her name? Well, it's Maya. God, I can't remember. She was in, what do you call it? The Hawkeye. I'm blanking so hard right now. Deaf. You know who I'm talking about
from
though,
Daredevil.
Right? Yeah. She's the deaf one. Echo.
I know.
Echo right now is the current holder of the Phoenix Force, thanks to Jason Aaron's.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, I just had to throw that little insert here because obviously Thor's mom was the original Phoenix.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't read that yet. Yeah, there are not many fans of that.
No,
a lot of my comic friends,
the Avengers,
are not happy with Aaron's run on the Avengers. He's done some cool things, but there's some things that he's done that have upset a lot of purists, and I can't say I disagree with them.
I love the fact that the Phoenix Force was always this universal entity, right? And it chose who it wanted to give the Force to, and like I've always been under the impression that Jean Grey was the only one that could contain the Phoenix.
There's so many more now.
I know.
Namor had it for like a panel.
So they did a fight for the Phoenix where champions fought for the opportunity to be the holder of the Phoenix.
Wow.
And to me, the story kind of it fell flat because you have major fights that only take place in a panel, right? Yes. Logan and Wolverine fighting, Logan and Cap fighting.
Yep.
To be the host of the Phoenix Force.
Why would either of them want the Phoenix Force in the first place?
Do we remember when Moon Knight had the Phoenix Force and when he took over all the powers of all of the Avengers?
Yeah. Moon Knight kind of smoked. I actually kind of liked
that. I love that. I love that arc. Like he took what was it? Iron Fist gauntlets. He was taking like the Eye of Agamotto from Doctor Strange, and then he was just like whipping everyone's like butt, and then he's like, I need the Phoenix Force.
It was the whole thing with it. Well, the reason Cap and Logan would want it, Logan knows how destructive it is. He doesn't want anybody else to have it if it's not going to pick, Jean. Right. At least me understanding it, we have a chance. And Cap feels the same way. And Cap's like anybody else getting it, we can't trust them with that kind of power. And so but you have these fights that should be significant that take place in a panel and they're over. Like you come back and like they lost. And so now there are not a lot of people that are a fan of Jason Aaron's run. It was very interesting that Moon Knight, this wasn't in that particular story arc, but this is in the Aaron run. Yeah. When he tries to deal with Thor, right? And how does a Moon Knight deal with a Thor? He worships his god. Was it Khonshu?
Khonshu.
Khonshu. Okay, thank you for the correction. But he can control. It's the god of the moon, so he controls Moon Rock, and he tells Thor, like, what do you think it is? What do you think Uru is? It's Moonstone, and so he can move. He can control through Khonshu Mjolnir. It was
amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was. I was like, okay, I gotta give it to you, Jason Aaron. That's a great little twist. There.
That was thinking that was put very much into that one part.
Wow.
It was like it. The way I describe it to everybody that like was talking about that arc or wanted to get into that arc, I was like, think Deadpool kills the Marvel universe, but Moon Knight. Like he just takes all their powers.
Analogy right there.
You know what time it is, gentlemen?
Pizza time?
It is Pulse time. That is absolutely right. Let's go ahead and do that. I want to show off these little tidbits first.
Go for it.
It's a couple of them. So there's
you got Tone's full attention. He got up proper. He's
right on. There's this store here in town. It's called Secret City Exchange. Guys, if you're ever in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and you need a place to go look at some comic books and some other cool stuff, go check them out. Really good place. Good people. But they had this stuff in this right here in a page sleeve, dirty old page sleeve. And
I love those dirty old page sleeves.
Right. And I took it up to the guy at the counter. I was like, how much do you want for this? He's like, well, how much do you want to give me for it? I was like, well, I said, I'll give you $5. And he's like, that's what I was thinking, $5. I was like, okay, sold. So this is what it had in it. So first off, we have this wonderful Batman postcard from Night's End. Yeah, so it's got John Paul Valley Batman and Bruce Wayne Batman, and then it's got all the stuff on here. It's got a little checklist over here of all the Night's End books. And then we have do you remember Techno Comics at all? Like Gene Roddenberry's Lost Universe and Leonard Nimoy's Primordials and things like that. No. Well, this is one of those cards that you would get at a comic store. Like they'd have these stacks of things. They still got them there that you can pull and take for free. This is just one of those advertisements. This is from back in 1995. And this was Gene Roddenberry's Lost Universe.
I was 4.
Now here is an uncut sheet. It's only
not that I'm showing
cards,
my age or anything,
but this is Marvel Universe Flair. You remember those cards? The real thick, super cardboard cards, right? Yes. So this is one of those uncut 4-card advertisements, but on the back they have 3 other cards, and then they have the thing up here for the promo. Ships June 1994. Then we have I think this is Marvel Universe Series 5, if I'm not right. Marvel Universe 1994. This is another one of those uncut sheets that you could get. And that's
okay. I dig that one. You need to ship that one to me like tomorrow.
Absolutely not. That is Cable, Spider-Man, Wolverine, and Iron Man.
Wow.
But then you have this. This is another promo card, and this is for Sam Keith's The Max card series.
Ooh. Oh, that's cool. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
From Topps when they were farting around with non-baseball and sports cards. Then we have a little Ashgan supplement to Wizard. This is Ultraverse God Wheel. This is like a little 6-page mini comic book. That's a Mantra down here, I believe. Yeah, over here. This is Mantra. And I think that's an evil version of Prime, if I'm not mistaken. Then we have something Bart Sears did. And I don't know what company this is from. I can't read it down at the bottom, but this is called Infinity, and that's Bart Sears artwork. I always loved his artwork, especially when he was doing Exo Man of War toward the end with Valiant. And this is another Wizard supplement. Then we have two more things. One mini uncut sheet of 1994 Fleer Ultra X-Men cards. Look at that. Ain't that cool?
Yeah.
And then this is my favorite piece. I dig the crap out of this. And this is just one of those things. It's called a master print. I looked it up and it's only like worth $5, but it's something that
got your money's worth.
Yeah. This is something you'd put in like a 5x7 picture frame. It's a little bigger than that maybe, but just under an 8x10. And it is Spider-Man and Venom.
That's cool.
Right, and that came out of Wizards, so that is amazing, and that's beautiful Bagley artwork too. So
you have a thing for Bagley.
I love Bagley stuff. I've got a couple books signed by him too. So yeah, I wanted to show you guys that. I know you guys would appreciate those. And Kevin, if you're still in the chat, I'm pretty sure you'd appreciate all that cool stuff too.
Yeah, he said, "Whoa."
All right. Well, Tone,
sounds
go
like
ahead
a Kevin thing to say.
Go ahead and start us off, man. What do you got on your polls this week?
My polls this week were so Devil's Reign. I like the fact that Daredevil's got his own story going on for a change. Yes. I mean, I should say, I don't know what you call it, but basically there's a story surrounding Daredevil that's not just taking place in his main title.
And I don't even think they're pushing it that hard either.
Yeah.
It doesn't sure feel like it.
And this week was Devil's Reign X-Men, right? Issue number 3.
Yes.
Look at Emma Frost.
And so there's been a back and forth in this between Wilson and Emma. Wilson, Emma, and Elektra has something go on between them. I won't reveal it all between them, but it really does a lot to show you just the kind of the influence that Emma has in the underworld. Like, and
she was with the Hellfire Club before, so.
Exactly. And so her and Wilson have crossed paths before, which I thought was an interesting connection. And one of the things, and this could apply to what we were talking about previously to Doom 2, but right now we'll just speak Emma and Wilson. In the modern in the modern Marvel universe, they are starting to do a better job of making these characters across platforms interact a bit more, right?
Making it more universal.
Yes, absolutely. And not quite to the point where Jamie spoke about last week when he was talking in the continuity episode of Codex, where you could identify where a character was very specifically in New 52. Not quite there yet, but the fact that they know each other exists and they've interacted before continues to kind of tie things together in the Marvel universe. And
Devil's Reign's doing a wonderful job of that right now.
Yeah. I almost feel it's moving a little bit too fast.
Really?
Because you got to think Zdarsky's jumping over to Batman here shortly.
He's still going to be doing Daredevil too.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy.
I think he's going to be off Daredevil.
You think so?
Yeah, because I think that Batman is going to take up most of his time.
Yeah, I'm very curious,
especially with the Jimenez art. Oh my God, you know that guy's gonna draw the crap out of everybody.
Tone, what else you got there, buddy?
And continuing on that same theme, I will stick with Marvel right now. I picked up the final issue of The Deaths of Wolverine.
X Deaths of Wolverine. I've heard a lot about that, but I've never checked it out.
Isn't that like the Strife version of Wolverine?
Yes.
In a way. Okay.
But unless I missed something, he wasn't really a factor in this book. Like it's really just Wolverine fighting a future Phalanx version of himself. But interesting story. Nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Worth checking out, you think?
Would you say it's for a certain type of audience, or is it something that like you would be like, yeah, take this?
Like up, down, or sideways?
In the grand scheme of what the X books are doing, I would say up.
Okay.
I would not say it's something to skip. It lays some groundwork for, as always with the Hickman plan, some more machinations to take place. It gives some deeper insight into Logan. And so I think it's a good add to the Logan story, if you will.
Nice.
It really fills in some of the gaps that Logan experienced in his memory. And there is one cool scene. And I'm wondering if that's in Lives or Deaths of Wolverine. But you find out that because of a book that was in the Venom verse, where they introduced the symbiotes back in Vietnam, who was bouncing.
Oh, Venom.
Yep. Who was bouncing around there at that time.
Need that.
Logan.
I'm sold.
Yeah, so Logan came in contact with the symbiote back then, and it has an impact on the story now.
That was a tie into it. I think that's one of the end cliffhangers in that book. Is basically Logan turning around and there's the symbiote coming towards him.
Interesting. Okay, I too am intrigued.
And then we have Maestro, right? World War M.
How is that?
Yeah.
I've been enjoying the Maestro books, but I'm not sure. I know they're supposed to be paving the way to the Maestro as we finally met him in that book.
Right.
And right now they're going through to these other leaders that are still in the world. But
I think Old Man Logan was phenomenal.
Yeah.
With him.
But this it's been this Maestro book, because this is the third. It's been good. I wouldn't call it great. I wouldn't call it bad. It's kind of par for the course. You know, it's adding to the Maestro story in an effective way.
Nice. Okay.
They introduced
so just like solid storytelling, then nothing that's going to blow your mind, but it's definitely going to keep you in there. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, it's and of course, then I have this is also an Avengers week. So Avengers and Avengers Forever.
Got those.
And so Avengers 53, this is actually a second printing. So it came out a couple of months ago and I missed it. And so I picked it up.
Is that 50?
I actually like this cover better because who's on it? T'Challa and Boom.
That's
amazing.
My
favorite characters. Yeah.
No,
what number is it?
53. This is 53.
53. Oh, okay. Because 54, I think, came out. I got that one.
This is the 53 reprint.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. And then of course, Avengers Forever really focuses a lot on Thor's granddaughters.
Yes, that's one thing I think Aaron's is killing it on.
Yeah, I love the writing in that book.
Yes.
And whenever Jason Aaron shifts into Thor world, it's always good, right?
Automatic.
And then of course I picked up Elektra, Black, White, and Blood.
Oh, not Woman Without Fear.
All those Black, White, and Bloods are pretty good.
Oh, that looks amazing. I just love the cover work on that. That looks wonderful.
And this cover is tagged to be one to go up on the wall over here.
Yeah.
Dude, I have so many of those that are tagged to go up on the wall. I just don't know if I want to just the wall behind me, fill it all the way up to the ceiling.
Do it, man. Do it. And then for my image books this week, Department of Truth.
Good one.
Is that number 30? I saw that on the rack and I almost grabbed it today, but I passed it up.
This is issue 17 of Department of Truth. And Department of Truth is really a book that confuses me. I love it. And I have to read
of the confusion.
Every issue 4 or 5 times to try and wrap my head around the concepts that they're saying. And occasionally I give up. I'll just have to pick it up in flight. But I love kind of this clandestine fantasy, dark, murderous story. It's just outstanding to me.
I got the first trade for it here, and I fell in love with it.
And then I also picked up Philadelphia.
I haven't heard of that.
Philadelphia is a book by Rodney Barnes, and it follows it follows the son of a police officer. It starts with a son. His dad's died. He starts having nightmares of his dad being buried alive. And eventually he goes and he digs his dad up, and his dad's awake in the coffin. And it's about, he finds out his dad's a vampire.
I am reading this book. This is amazing.
And it starts this story. It's placed in Philadelphia because it's tied to the country's history. And basically, Thomas Jefferson was a vampire and John Adams were vampires. And they have conflicting ideologies on what America's place should be in the world today. And so whereas John Adams wants to, our time is over, let the humans do things, Thomas Jefferson has been on a several 100-year hiatus, and he wants to come back and take over the country again and lead America back to greatness. What's that? This is on issue 17.
Yeah, Philadelphia is a little bit in there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna check that out. That sounds very, very interesting.
Yeah, it is. I love Philadelphia, and I love the writer of it, Rodney Barnes, and it's so macabre. It's so dark.
And it's an Image title.
Yes,
nice.
Yes. And then my last book for the week is Rogues. right?
Is that also an Image title?
No, that's actually DC.
This is DC.
Flash.
Yeah.
That was not at my comic shop. I couldn't even pick it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I made sure
I wanted it so bad.
I was made sure I was standing at the door to grab it.
Is it Black Label?
Yes.
And so this story, first of all, I love this cover. This cover is of Captain Cold, and he's old, and he's a reformed villain. He lives a mundane life where he lives under his restrictions and no technology. And basically, it's a little cliche where he gets tired of getting kicked and disrespected, and inside, deep down, there's always the snart we know,
Yes.
And so he starts bringing back the rogues for one final job, even though they're all old. A couple of them are dead. And so I want to see where this goes. But just that cover of an old Captain Cold standing in the cold with the cold gun, I had to buy it.
Is that number 1?
Yes.
I'm going to look for that. I love stories.
And that's a 3 issue.
Those The End stories. Those are wonderful stories.
Yeah. Now, I got to admit, I love the cover more than the story itself. I was hoping, the Black Label stuff tends to have a lot of meat on the bones. Yes. And this does seem to be kind of a let's have one last hurrah story. And I was expecting to be a little bit more than what it was. Than it just, I've been assaulted one too many times. I used to be a big time villain.
Yeah.
Let's go pull a heist. I would have liked
one last heist, one last ride, one Vin Diesel.
Yeah, I would have liked to see some more, since a lot of these Black Labels really dive deep into some really personality elements of the character. That's what I was expecting.
You didn't want to see the same tropes being used over again.
And it seems kind of like, let's get the crew back together. You get to this person. No, I don't want to come back to the crew. And they come back to the crew. You get to this person. Oh my gosh. Why would we do this again? Our lives are so different. It's kind of,
I hope it surprises you if you stick with it. I really do. Because I'm going to look for that and I'm going to read it along with you.
Yeah. But those were my pulls for the week.
Nice. Those are awesome.
Very good.
Jamie, why don't you go ahead, man? What do you got this week?
Are you sure about that?
Yeah,
it could take a minute.
Well, if you want, you and I can go back and forth. That's up to you.
I'll just go through them. But okay, I'm gonna start off with my boom because obviously we kind of are working with them. So, I got to do reviews for them. So I'm starting off with Power Rangers Universe number 4.
Yeah, love that cover.
This one, if anyone checked out our TikTok, another plug. I gave this kind of like a sideways thumb where it's not the Rangers teams that it's kind of a mixed cavalcade of different people that we've never heard of. And they get into basically the morphing grid and they're bestowed the morphing powers, and each one's got a different morphing power from like each season. Basically, like you have some that are from season, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, one from Turbo, one from Lightspeed Rescue, and so on. But I like the way it's going. If I was going to recommend it, I'd just say someone that's a Power Rangers collector or someone that wants to jump in and see something different. So definitely, I would check it out.
I read the first issue of Universe right along with you, and I had a really hard time getting into it. And I kind of stopped after issue 1.
Yeah. Basically, my boom's Power Rangers, because this one threw me off. I didn't know you could possibly pull this. But you got Godzilla versus Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 1.
I want to read that.
I haven't jumped into these yet. I got them this weekend. So I'm ready. I want to see some stuff happen with some Megazords and Godzilla.
Right on. Dragon Zord versus Godzilla.
Obviously, we got to go with Power Rangers written by Ryan Parrott. Oh my God. It's still so good. Matt Bloom took over Mighty Morphin, but Parrott's still on Power Rangers to listen to load for everything he's doing with Rogue Sun.
Power Rangers is where he needs to focus because the seed was planted during the Altarian War for the Jason and Trini relationship, and I want to see where that goes.
They're not gonna. It's not happening. Just because you said it on air, he's gonna watch this and be like, "No, we're not doing this anymore."
Tim, you already knew, man. Yeah. So
you ruined it for everybody. But lastly, guys, from Boom, this has to be the book. This is number 5 and it ends. This is the most confusing, awesome book I've ever read in my life.
What's it about?
So basically, it's about now I'm gonna forget the name, but the JFK assassination with Lee Harvey Oswald.
Oswald's body. So I was wondering if it was the Harvey Oswald.
They basically have a team set up to pull a switcheroo on Lee Harvey Oswald, and they go after another guy that looks exactly like him. They got this team leader. We don't know who he's from, if he's from the CIA, wherever. But he pulls a team together of these like low lives, but they got a skill set. And he's like, hey, we need to find a guy that's this height, these color eyes, this facial structure. Find him.
Who comes up with the concepts for these stories? That's what I want to know.
Cantwell.
Oh my Lord.
So they find him, and as they had to pinpoint the moment that Oswald gets shot. So the guy's already dead that they got in a freezer. I'm not going to give too much away, but this guy's in a freezer, and they got to figure out how to get his body into a morgue to replace the other Oswald. And it's just nuts from beginning to end.
That sounds amazing too. Holy smokes. Too many books.
Picked up Marvel. We got Lethal Protector from Venom.
Is that good?
I haven't dug into these. I'm just like, I've been seeing this book everywhere though. Like, because obviously Lethal Protector from, the 90s, they're like, we're doing it again.
So that's Lethal Protector. Does it have the legacy numbering of number 7?
No.
Come on. Marvel, you're falling short, man. Let's do it.
Task Force Z.
Yeah.
If I can get the lighting good.
Oh, look at that cover.
Yeah. I love their B covers. But Task Force Z, if you guys don't know, is Red Hood takes over a team of zombie Suicide Squad members. Basically, it's the Lazarus resin that they're injecting into these dead villains, just to keep them alive enough so they would be able to listen to what Red Hood commands. Two-Face is kind of running the team under Amanda Waller. So it's cool to an extent. I like it because we see Mr. Bloom again. For those of you who don't know who Mr. Bloom is, he was in Snyder's run of Batman. Near the end.
Yes.
Obviously one of my favorites every time. Saga.
Yeah. Of course.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's like they didn't 2-year hiatus and they didn't miss a beat. Like, it's just still perfect. One that I've talked to you about, Tim, that I personally love and enjoy. It's not a book for the faint of heart. I'm gonna tell you right now. So if you do not like torture and sexuality, you will not like this book. And sexual content. 9 Stones.
Okay. Yeah, we've talked about this. I want to read that.
This was a webcomic on Webtoons, and they got put in for a book by Behemoth Comics for publication. It basically tells the story of a mob leader's son. He doesn't know that he's gay, falls in love with one of the other scouts that are running the organization for him. The father finds out, and he's got a guy that basically tortures people till they give him information and kills him, like shoving nails through his fingertips. Yeah. It's just.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good night. We're done here.
We're done. No more coziness. We're getting into grit here. But no, it's like, it's hard to explain because it's like sexual content, and then it's like, it's a really love story. Then there's therapy involved. And
wow,
it takes so many different ranges, and it has me hooked. I want to know what happens next every time.
It sounds really interesting.
But yeah, so that one, if you guys want to check it out, I would say definitely mature readers.
Wow.
So, next up, we got Harley Quinn 13.
Okay.
This has been to me.
I only see the covers. I've only ever bought in that run of Harley Quinn for cover alone.
Covers are better than the interiors. I'll tell you that right now. But it's Harley trying to be good.
Yeah.
It's after Joker War, so she's trying to be part of the Bat family, and she's like, I know Batman, huh? And then her relationship with one of the Joker's like Joker War salient Kevin, big overweight guy, doesn't think he's good enough in the world, and she's basically helping him too. So I mean, it is a Harley Quinn book. It's not in the popularity like it was, let's say, 4 or 5 years ago. So take it with a grain of salt.
They just need to give her the mallet back and let her splatter some dudes.
Obviously, one tone head. We got Avengers Forever 4.
No,
so I can't speak better about this book over the main series. I would say
I've got the original story over there that Busiek and Perez did.
Yeah,
and I haven't read that yet. I want to though.
Titans United number 7, the last of this series.
Such a good series. I have not read the current or the past 2 issues, but I love it.
It has that
art germ.
That is actually by. It's a bunch of different artists. I'm trying to remember if there's Matina.
Gotcha.
Have you read Titans United, Tone?
I think I picked up issue 1 and 2, but I stopped collecting that for the that was one of the sacrifices must be.
Dude, it picks up steam. It really does.
Yeah. They got that trope of, what if Superman just snapped, but instead of Superman, it's Superboy or Connor.
Yeah,
my favorite Superboy.
Yeah, so like it's a cool way.
I'm not quite sure. I don't think it's art germ, but I've got a classic Connor Kent up there on the wall. By the way, real quick side note, I think I said this in comic character of the day. I think it was one of Connor's death was one of the best deaths I've seen in modern comics.
Really?
Yeah, I really loved how they approached his death and the fight. He really died in a Clark way. If you look at it, Superboy Prime became his doomsday.
Yes.
And for him sacrificing himself to save everyone versus Superboy Prime and him dying saying, isn't it cool?
Wow.
Yeah. It was just awesome. So yeah. And then I see this week's scans and I see him getting jolly stomped out by the other Titans.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot more that plays into it. So, I mean, it's a good read. I like the fact that Red Hood does play a role in it. It kind of flips the script a little bit. He's like the antagonist. Like, oh, come on, you're a clone of Superman. You can't beat these guys. What's going on with you? And like to the point where he's like, I don't care if he's a clone of Superman. I'll still take a shot at him. Like, it's that engagement, and it's like, oh, he really doesn't care.
Is that all you got for this week, Jamie?
No, I got a couple more. Okay. I'll run through them fast. Okay. Nightwing number 90.
Is that a B cover?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good.
Tom Taylor is killing it on this run. Obviously, it's Dick Grayson having Batman money because Alfred left him behind, and he's trying to run an organization.
Is that Taylor's big force of work? Somebody's car alarm's going off.
Yeah, I can't hear it, but no,
I can.
He's it's up there. It's probably the best part of Nightwing that we've had since like the 90s.
Cool.
I think.
Yeah. I will co-sign that. I think you nailed it with that, Jamie. Best Nightwing run since the original the original.
I would say that 4 issue
gold shield or whatever he had.
Yeah, I would say when that 4 issue into the Grayson run.
Yeah.
I think
until the McDaniel Chuck Dixon run.
Yes. Yeah. So that was definitely one of my favorites. But I got Justice League 74.
Right before they all die.
Yeah. I'm sorry, it's Bendis.
Spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen, the Justice League are toast.
Every Justice League spoiled it. I've got.
They were already toast, though. I always like to add that.
Kids are crying late.
They were toast the moment Bendis started writing them.
No, they got toasted back in one of my favorite storylines in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. They got toasted. They went back in time and met an ancient league that killed them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
And I love that story.
Yeah, he's been cloned Justice League members ever since.
So variant cover for Avengers 54.
Yeah. The Infinity Saga variants they got out right now. Those are really cool.
The one I'm looking forward to most after reading Carnage Forever is Carnage #1.
Really?
Yes. Ram V's writing it.
Wonderful.
Ram V is killing it with Swamp Thing. They actually gave him an extended run. He was only supposed to do 10 issues. Now it's an ongoing series. But Ram V's been good for a while. Now people don't really pick up on his work, but what I read in the 4 different stories that Carnage Forever took place with, this seems amazing. And then lastly, I have no idea what this is. I just got it for the cover, and it's a Black Label book, but Suicide Squad Blaze.
Yeah.
It's got Boomerang, King Shark, Harley
nice.
Quinn, and Peacemaker.
All the movie popular characters. Yep. We're gonna see Peacemaker everywhere now. All right, gentlemen, you ready for what I got?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I'll show you my pulls, and then I'll show you some books I got at a store in Knoxville called McKay's. So first off, we have here Moon Knight #9. I love that cover. That just looks absolutely amazing. I haven't read this yet. This is after I finish reading Devil's Reign. I'm gonna go into Moon Knight, and I know a particular issue of Moon Knight ties into Devil's Reign, so I need to catch up on that. Yeah. Let's see here. We got the Amazing Spider-Man #92.
That's a nice cover.
Yeah, that looks great. Misty Knight, I believe, is right here. Yep, that looks wonderful. I always liked her as a character, and I thought they did a really good job with her in the Netflix shows. I've got a variant cover for 92. I don't know who the heck they're fighting, but
Gargoyles.
Yeah, it looks cool. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 copies of Avengers #54. My
someone's
LCS,
an overachiever.
Well, my LCS is really good about throwing in variant covers, and I tell them, I'm like, dude, if the variant covers are cover price, throw them in there. I'll take them. I said, as long as the title's on my pull list, I'll take them. I said, I am not gonna tell you no, because it helps them out, and that's the whole point of it. And you know, I get all these, and if it's a cover that I'm not particularly fond of, I can always toss it to my son, and my son is always super appreciative. Dad, it's a variant. Are you sure? Son, go ahead. This one's for you. But we have the Avengers #54, and that's got Deathlock on it. So yeah, I'm interested. And this is the.
I felt like that cover was like really, like, I know it's a comic. Don't get me wrong, but that felt really cartoony.
I can see that.
Like, I felt like it was like, remember when DC did the thing with Looney Tunes and they had like those variants going on, where like Elmer Fudd was thunking Batman on the head. That's what it kind of gave me that feel of.
Well, this cover will give you the feel of what it should probably be then. And that's 54. That's one of the variants. Wolverine, Iron Man, and Icarus beating the snot out of each other, and it looks wonderful. Yeah, so that's one of the variants there. Then I have the Carnage Forever variant. I don't know who this is on the cover, Jamie or Tone. Maybe you guys can tell me. But
you put it a little bit closer.
Yeah. Oops.
Yep. Back there. You go.
That's about as close as it'll get.
No idea.
I'm not sure who it is. It's a Carnage Forever variant. So that's that. And then the one that you've already shown. Yeah, that just looks awesome. I dig it. Then we have Devil's Reign #5. This is the B variant, I believe. And I just love Fisk's Thunderbolts. I dig them. And US Agent in the middle of that.
Yeah, I like seeing him.
Yeah, whatever your name is, you're under arrest. I'll take it. Blue and Gold #7 of 8.
I want to get that so bad, and I'm just like, I haven't pulled the trigger.
I'm missing issue 1 and 4. Once I get all 8 issues, then I'm going to sit down and read it. But I've heard lots of good things about it. What he's saying in the word bubble is out with the old and with the new.
It's Booster. Of course you're going to love it.
Yeah. So I'm
the greatest man time forgot about.
We have Dark Ages #5. This is beautiful.
Oh, the ending of that issue.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So good. I am in love with this series. And Taylor the editorial made a poor choice in making it only 6 issues.
I feel that's a good statement. It should have been a maxi.
Dude, yeah. Then we have DC vs. Vampires number 6. I got the A and B covers for that. I dig good that series. Cover. Yep.
Wait a minute. DC number 6 is out. Oh my gosh, I gotta go to a comic shop tomorrow.
Well, here's the B cover, buddy.
Yeah, I got that one too.
And it looks amazing. I think that's Nightwing, right? Is that? Yeah, that's Nightwing. God, that looks wonderful. Yep. So 6 is out. And then here's the one, Jamie, that I think it was you and Dan that were talking about. And I saw that.
Oh, we love demons.
We have demons.
Or have demons. Whatever.
This is the new Snyder, Capullo, Glapion, McCaig, and Napolitano that are working for Dark Horse. Issue number 1. You guys were talking about it. I think Dan picked it up. You passed on it.
If I pick it up, I'm gonna read the entire thing, and I don't need any more on my pull list.
Well, that's very true. But I'm gonna read it because I saw it and I had to get it. So
also that was his Comixology contract book. That was the one that kicked it off.
This one here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, if it's on Comixology, I already have a subscription to that, and I can stop paying for the physical copies and go read the digital.
Oh, no way. I got one too from people.
So that's my polls for the week. That's all I got there. But I want to show you guys what I picked up at McKay's. And McKay's is a comic store in Knoxville, Tennessee. If you guys are ever in Knoxville, please stop there, take a look. You'll find all kinds of cool stuff. It's like bargain hunting. You know, some of the prices are too high, but some of the prices are too low to ignore. And these were one of them. So I found issues 1 through 11. I could not find number 12, but issues 1 through 11 of All-Star Superman.
Ooh.
And 2 copies of issue number 1.
Nice.
So I've got one.
That was when Morrison was good.
Yeah, I got that. And then we have 2 through 11, and they were $1.75 a piece. And
that's a steal.
I didn't even think about it. I was like, is 12 in there? Nope. I'm taking everything they have. These are all mine now.
Bargain is right.
Exactly. So like I said, some of the stuff they charge way too much for, but other stuff they're like, nah, we don't care about that. Nobody cares about that. Well, I do. Then I found Superman Batman. I'm in the process of collecting that. I think I am at the halfway mark for the total run. And I already had issue 13, but I didn't have this cover. And that's the cover of Turner's Supergirl. And I found that and snagged that. That cover alone is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I got that for $1.25.
My waist looks like that when I'm in the mirror.
I look like that every morning when I get out of the shower. So then I got this one. Which one is this? 51. I got that. And that looks cool. Yeah, that was one I was missing. And then I got the issue right after that, 52. And that was one I was missing also. And I got those each for $1.25. Picked up an X-Men annual, Uncanny. This is one I was missing. I'm at the halfway point for annuals now. And with the Uncanny run, I think I am unbroken with the exception of one issue. So it is broken, but with the exception of one issue, from 284 to 544. All I'm missing is 375. And then it's a complete run from there to there. And I'm going backwards until the issues start costing $20 a pop. And then I'll pick another legacy title to do and get Uncannies periodically. But annual number 97. This is when I think they just didn't care anymore. And
why does Cyclops look like the Crimson Chin?
Exactly. This is a very poor artwork. I don't know who does it. I haven't dove that far into it. Jean Grey looks disastrous too. But
only the best for X-Men.
Team up with the Brotherhood. No trust, no honor, no rules. I got this for $1. So I'll take that any day of the week.
You got ripped off.
No, I didn't. It's $1.
That was during one of the eras where I was really frustrated with what they were doing with Cannonball.
Right.
If you're going to grow him up, fine. If you're going to promote him to an X-Men, fine. But don't promote him to an X-Man and then use him as the junior character, right? He's been literally flying around the world, kicking ass with X-Force and Cable since he was a teenager.
Leading X-Force too.
Exactly. Fighting Shield, fighting War Machine, and now suddenly he's an X-Man, and he's like, "Oh, you're not used to this, and I'm the kid of the group." And like, yeah, I wasn't a fan of what they were doing with Cannonball at that time.
I hear it. Okay, so this one was a little more expensive. This is Batman 678. This is an Alex Ross cover. I dig that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that R.I.P. Batman?
Yes. Okay. Yes, it is. Then we have the current run of Batman. This is issue number 53. This is from King and Brightweiser. This is the B variant, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, like King was like,
I've heard mixed feelings.
He was so hit and miss, man. Yep. Like throughout his all 89 issues he did. The only thing that I think he did astounding on was the annuals.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 that he had out.
Well, here's a Tony Daniel cover that I think is absolutely gorgeous. And this is from the City of Bane storyline. This is number 78. Mm-hmm. And this is where Batman and Catwoman reunite. So yeah, I think this looks unreal. And this is going to go in my CGC grading box just because of that cover. That cover looks immaculately beautiful. And I want to put that up on a bookshelf or a wall. I paid $2 for that. I got 2 more, fellas, and then I'm finished. Okay. Oh no, 3. I'm sorry. No, 4. Okay, and that's it. Okay.
I got 76. Tim, count.
I was able to find issue 2 of Batman Black and White. I think those are wonderful stories, and this is the black and white number 2. I got that. And I paid $2 for that. This is the most expensive one I found. It's Spider-Man number 75 variant. And I paid $6 for it.
Oh, nice.
Yes, that is. I've got the Gleason art. I've got a couple of them.
Yeah, that looks good. Then
even though I'm not collecting Spider-Man, I love those covers.
2 more here. This is the David Finch and Scott Williams Batman The Dark Knight run. Mm-hmm. This is number 2 from 2011. Williams has inked Jim Lee so long that anything he inks looks like Jim Lee. So that's what I see there.
Hey, Tim, real fast, that 79, I have the B variant for that City of Bane.
Yeah. Is that Alex Ross?
No, but that's the City of Bane you were talking about with
Jeez, that looks even
Tony
better.
Daniel.
Put it back up. I couldn't see it.
Yeah, sorry, bro.
It's
kind of hard because of the phone.
That looks
there we go.
Nice.
Yes. Who did the artwork for that cover?
Man. Clayman.
God almighty. Well, here's the last one. I think this will top it off for the polls. This is Batman the Dark Knight that Finch did for New 52.
Yes.
And I love the cover.
One I'm working on.
Yeah, look at that. Issue number 1.
I had to school Tim and tell him there's 3 different colors to that.
This is the first print. So, and I got this for $1.50.
Everyone's like, I got the first print. And I'm like,
no, you don't.
No, because there's 3 different. There's orange is the background. There's red. And then there's black.
I like the black background the best. I think that one looks really cool.
Yeah, but that's the first print.
No idea which one I have. Maybe I need to
have
go
all 3. Well, all right, gentlemen. It is 12:15. We have shown polls. We have talked Dr. Doom. We have talked all kinds of other stuff, continuity in comics. Jamie, I think there's some other things you want to go over tonight. You want to talk about?
It'll be real quick and brief, guys. I don't want to bore you with the statistics. But no, we did launch Codex Gaming. That was on the back burner for a little bit. But we got Matt Slayer, Tim's fine brother over there.
Yeah, my brother from the same mother. So genuine.
Yeah. Why you whine? But no, we got him. He's gonna be doing every weekend. So we're gonna have a Codex War Room meeting every Friday to kind of discuss what we're going to be playing that weekend. I think tonight he's taking a little bit of a break.
Yeah, he's in the middle of a blizzard right now.
But Sundays is going to be cool because we got retro gaming from SNES to Sega to N64. The whole old gaming experience is coming to us. And we got a list of comic book games we're going to be playing.
Well, Matt's even got a list of other games on there he wants to try too. So we're all going to sit down and figure it out.
And with him gaming 4 hours a night, it's going to be good. So definitely check it out. He loved it. I stayed up and watched. It was great. Yeah. But that's just me.
I have no opportunity to watch because I'm too busy gaming.
I don't watch
what do you game?
I actually game.
Right now, I have more games lined up than I have since I was a young man. So at this moment, I put down Sifu to and Sifu, I'm still getting my ass kicked in the club, right? To play, I've been binging Horizon Forbidden West.
Yes. Okay.
I've already
so
downloaded,
PlayStation or your PC.
I'm PlayStation 5. I'm console right now, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X.
Anytime you want to jump in.
I just got my son the first event or what was it? Event Horizon or
Horizon.
Yeah,
Horizon Forbidden West. Yeah. You got him Zero Dawn.
That's right. That's the one I got.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's outstanding. Is outstanding story behind it. I love the story behind this game. But so it's Sifu, Horizon Forbidden West, Elden Ring.
Oh God, yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
That one was fun. I beat that.
And then every day I do play about an hour of Call of Duty with my friends on Call of Duty.
Of course, you gotta get the boys together.
Yeah, which for me, honestly, as a gamer, Call of Duty doesn't scratch my itch, but I love getting together with the guys.
That's the point of it.
See, we used to do back in the day was Halo 3 and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Those were our big ones back in the day.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm playing right now, and I'm probably putting in, but somewhere between 2 to 4 hours of Forbidden West a day.
Wow.
Because I got to get through it so I can get to these other games,
Yeah. Respect on that one.
Well, what else we got, Jamie, before we go ahead and end this wonderful fireside chat?
Our TikTok is now improving a little bit more. We're no longer just doing recommended readings. We're going to be doing pull lists. We're going to be covering some news that breaks throughout the week so we can get in there. My ADD just went off again because Tim keeps in the background.
It's only the 5th time tonight.
Only. Guys, check out our Discord. There's some fun conversation in there. We got to get it rolling. We just opened the War Room.
Yes.
So we got Hal Jordan, Green Lantern versus Richard Rider, Nova. Who would win?
Ooh.
We give your best opinions in there. Let us know what you think.
Hal Jordan against Richie Rider?
Yeah.
I have
Tone, go in there and tell us why, man. I want to hear it. I want to hear your reason.
But no, definitely check it out. Corp versus Corp. You know which one's the best, honestly.
The Nova Corps. Yeah, we both know.
And thank you for showing up, everybody. This has been a great episode of Codex After Dark. You will be seeing less of Tim and more of me and Tone now. Tone, thank you for being. No.
Thank you for having me as always.
But no, definitely jump into Discord. We did post the link up in Comic Character of the Day. Shout out to them. We're still doing the promotion. 80th subscriber gets $10 Commonology gift card. 100th gets 25. So just all you gotta do is in the most recent video, post from Comic Character of the Day, and we'll get that shipped out to you.
Guys, we are 15 subscribers away from that 80. So let's make it happen, gentlemen and ladies.
All starts with you guys. So because the more you guys share and like our stuff, the more people see us, the more people subscribe.
We want to give our money away. We want to give you things, but we can't do it unless you get us to 80.
Yes. And Kevin, if you're still listening, we love you too, bud. I say that and he just pops right up. Promote it a little more so that way we can get these guys going, because I see a lot of conversation and we would love to have it here too and plug them over to you. So let's get this rolling. And as always, guys, definitely catch us, Wednesdays, because now we're scheduled every day for something, and it's fun. It's great. I love it. And I love the fact that you guys are being, committed to it. I want to do this all the time for everybody as much as I can. So keep liking, keep commenting, keep subscribing and following. And guys, I think we're ending this now. So I'll see you guys in the next one. And Tone, thank you again, brother.
Anytime. Thank you, guys. You're awesome.
Right. Oh, dude, this is why we have you on here, because you, sir, are amazing. Yes. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to find us on all social medias. That is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, over on Twitch, right here on YouTube, on the shiny new TikTok, and over in our Discord. All you got to do is type in the Codex Station, and that's where we are. Once again, guys, this is Codex After Dark.